We are defending free speech and the right to protest, challenging abuses by law enforcement, securing equality for all Texans, reforming Texas's criminal justice system, fighting discrimination against immigrants and our most vulnerable residents. We've done so much in 75 years of defending civil rights, and there's still so much more to do. We are the ACLU of Texas, a Maverick organization since 1938. We began our work in Texas in 1938 when pecan shellers in San Antonio decided to strike for better working conditions and better pay.
The people, the pecan shellers, the workers, were living in such deplorable conditions that they were dying.
When the shellers, who were mostly women, took to the streets with their leader, 21-year-old Emma Tenayuka, the police responded with brutal force.
What you had were scenes of police dragging women into their police cars, stuffing them into the overcrowded city jail. It was really an insidious thing that the police were doing by placing all these women in jail in hopes that that would break the strike.
Legendary and cantankerous San Antonio Congressman Maverick decided to step in.
Some of his contemporaries described him as a bulldog. Others who were less generous described him as a bullfrog. But he was a boisterous, outspoken man who spoke very frequently on behalf of workers and free speech particularly.
Maverick created what became the ACLU of Texas and brought in ACLU lawyers to help the jailed women. And the organization distributed a pamphlet across the state that won public support for the shellers.
It is an important turning point in Latino consciousness. The pecan shellers, for example, did have an effect in bringing public housing to San Antonio, did have an effect in bringing better sanitation to the west side. And in that sense, although these were not their battles, they did win them.
People realized that they could effect change. I think before there was such misery and such hopelessness that they didn't have that realization. And once you realize you have that, things are never the same.
Since that strike 75 years ago, the ACLU of Texas has continued to stand up for Texans across the state.
You know, the ACLU for many, many years was kind of like a firefighters union. You know, we went and put out fires where legal problems arose, and lawyers could go to court and make change.
People who wanted to hand out leaflets protesting the war.
ACLU in Houston did a lot of the police misconduct litigation.
There were also cases that involved getting on the ballot.
Santa Fe School District case dealing with school prayer. Prison overcrowding and jail overcrowding was a major lawsuit.
Today, the ACLU works for smart criminal justice reforms that protect everybody's rights and everybody's pocketbooks. We advocate for immigrants who have been unconstitutionally detained and discriminated against by our government. We fight for LGBT equality and women's rights. And we bring these battles to the next generation, defending the rights of students, the activists of tomorrow who ask our help in claiming their rights and responsibilities as Americans.
From the pecan pickers of San Antonio up to today, when we represent the Hispanics in Farmers Branch or the immigrants in Hutco, it's been a steady progression of making things better for the least of our citizens.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon.
The ACLU hopefully will last as long as the Constitution. And unfortunately, I would say when the ACLU goes away, probably that will be a contributor to the demise of our Constitution. It's a constant battle to ensure the rights that it sets forth.
The ACLU has been defending our rights for 75 years in Texas. Please join us to support 75 more.